What's up, traders, and welcome back to another market breakdown. Today, we're going to be breaking down gold, and we are going to be focusing today more on the technical analysis. Since this week, we really don't have too much economic data to look out for. So let's not make this video too long. Let's get right into it. Starting from the daily time frame, we can see that gold for the past couple of days has been more on a bullish run, right? We can see that very clearly as price has just been making highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. You get the point, right? So we are more bullish on the daily time frame. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start by marking off some of the main price points that we can see right here. I already see a few, and then we'll dive onto the 4 hour. We'll look at the 1 hour. Once we're done with that, then we'll talk about some potential moves kind of when we have our key levels. But what we see right here now, what we see right here is this strong resistance on the daily time frame. And also, as we can see, price kind of when it made this low here, this low didn't just go to a random place. It retested these previous highs. So on the daily time frame, these are the main zones that we should be looking out for. When we're looking at the 4 hour, we can see that it lines up with that resistance. We can see on the 4 hour. If anything, we'll mark off this area on the 1 hour. I'm sure we'll be able to look at that a lot clearer. But this support is clear right here on the 4 hour. We'll mark off some more supports around here just in case price does break below that area. And then last but not least, we'll go into the 1 hour and we'll mark off a few extra zones. So we have a zone around this area, 2678 to look out for. As you can see, it was a resistance, and then we broke above, retested that same exact area before price pushed towards the upside. This zone, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it just a bit smaller here. I'm just gonna line it up with these highs where price is sort of failing to break above. Let me just mark off this resistance. We have this previous area of support, and then we have reactions at the moment. We also have, as we can see clear, another support here on the 1 hour time frame. And just like that, guys, we've done our top-down analysis. When it comes to technicals, most of the time it's fairly quick, right? It's usually the fundamentals that take a little bit more time to explain. But again, we won't be focusing too much on that during this video. I'll make sure to make another video later on. We'll talk about the fundamentals. But right now, again, like we saw on all time frames, we saw on the daily time frame, we saw on the 4 hour time frame, pretty much everything right now looks pretty bullish in my opinion. Now, the only thing is once we start to zoom in to the 1 hour, we can see that price is creating this range for us. And it makes sense because today was a bank holiday. We had the Trump inauguration, so a lot less volume in the markets. Now that it has become official that Trump is the US president, we do have to be on the lookout for more volume coming in within the next couple of days, just in case Trump decides to throw some curveball at the markets, whether it's executive orders that he might put out, whether it's tariffs, whatever it might be. We know that that's going to bring volatility into the markets. But again, we'll only talk about that if something actually happens based on these technicals. Let's go back to the technicals here. We can see that it makes sense for us to be more on the bullish side, right? But based on this range that price is creating right now, it would be ideal to see price breaking and closing back above this area, above the 2712s. And if we can get above the 2712s and make sure we can retest that area, it is possible that we are going to see some further moves towards the upside. And then we'll also see further moves towards the upside if we can break above this resistance, above 2722s. Those are going to be the most ideal setups that I can look at right now when it comes to buys. The other thing is I would really just try to avoid being caught inside of this range. I wouldn't want to be guessing whether price is going to bounce from this support, whether it's going to reject this resistance. I would much rather wait for price to, again, either break above this area or break below. Because if we can break below, then we know that price is likely to do a deeper pullback. We'll look at the 2690s for a reaction to see if we can bounce off this area and then potentially just continue with the overall trend that we're following right now. And then, of course, all depending on your style, if you're a scalper, it does make sense for you to adapt short term to some of these moves, but more for the intraday traders or for people that are looking to adapt when it comes to stronger areas of supports or resistance, in my opinion, I would personally wait for price to close below these lows over here, where price created over here, this strong rejections of this area. If we could start to close below that zone, then it would make a lot more sense to start adapting to some more sells. Again, more from an intraday perspective. Now, we are going to keep this video short and simple. Again, we just talked about the technicals. We'll make sure to come back later on this week, or if anything next week, to talk about some of the recent fundamental events, so that way we can all be up to date with those things. So now, other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.